Here at home, so many people are hard at work doing special things to overcome the crisis. Dr. Stephen Erosa is one, turning his home into a workshop to create those much needed face masks. He joins us now from Yonkers. And doctor, you're actually sitting in the place where you make those masks. Can you show us how it works?
Yes, absolutely. So what we're doing is actually we're making face shields, which is the protective covering over the face to block any aerosolized particles from getting to your face mask and your eyes and things of that nature. Essentially, what we're using 3D printers that I've gathered from various libraries and universities in Westchester and the Bronx to coordinate an effort to produce these shields. So the way it works is basically you have something called a filament, which is like a plastic wire that's on a spool. It gets fed into this little thing, which is called an extruder, which essentially is like a hot glue gun. If anybody's seen a hot glue gun, the filament comes in at this end, it feeds it, and the computer will tell it where to lay out that plastic line to build a three-dimensional object. At the end of it, we end up with a visor that looks like this. And this is all open source. This is shared around the world by makers from various countries that are all dealing with the COVID response. And you can actually get some of this information on the NIH websites, etc., to figure out how to do this at home. A completed visor is a plastic shield that gets clicked in to the little slots on the front, which is all through a hole punch, basically a standard hole punch pattern, and just sits on your face.
Wow. Now tell us what inspired you to do this?
So I am a physical medicine and rehabilitation doctor. So I work with people with disabilities, and in training, we utilize 3D printing technology for a variety of things. One was to create prosthetic hands for children in underserved communities or abroad, as well as I did some work with virtual reality, and we utilized that to build some products to arrange cameras and things of that nature. And so as a resident, I had the experience, and now that I'm working in Westchester County and affiliated with a hospital, St. John's Riverside Hospital in Yonkers, seeing the world moving in this direction, using 3D printing technologies in situations where they absolutely had to, when they were running out of equipment or parts and supplies. These stories are popping up all over the internet. It was an initiative that came to my mind. You know, we might as well be prepared and hopefully never need to use any of these things. And so that's when I said, well, now that the lockdown has happened and we're closing universities and schools, these printers are going to go unused. And if they're just going to sit there, why wouldn't we reach out to see if they would be willing to donate and or have staff, which some universities are, staffing the computer and printing the components for us? And it actually worked out pretty well. And there are a lot of groups all throughout the country, and especially in the city and the state, that are collaborating, working together. I'm in touch with many of them, sharing ideas and equipment. So it's actually a beautiful thing. And that's how I sort of came about doing this.
Wow, you said you're working at St. John's Riverside Hospital. Can your masks be used there?
Yeah, so we donated 50 of them there. I'm in contact with the New York Health and Hospitals, city hospitals as well through my residency program, and through Montefiore through my residency program where I trained. And we're all collaborating and donating as much as we can. But it's a small drop in a bucket, but it's something that can be done. So
yeah, it's great. And how many face masks are you making a day, and how are you distributing them to these places?
So right now we can do, with the machines that I have, about one per machine per hour and a half to 2 hours, just to produce the actual plastic. Now, other heavy duty industrial machines can crank them out in about 45 minutes to an hour. It's faster, but these are the standard ones that you would have in your home or at your university. So in a given day, I try to run them as much as possible. So somewhere between like 36 and 40 masks per day, which is something. And we're working on ramping up and getting more to the hospitals in need. I have contacts at all the hospitals. I asked them if they need them. We have 50 to go today. Would you like them? And then we just I drop them off. That's basically it.
Wow, that's great. Dr. Stephen Erosa making 3D face masks at home. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell to get instant updates about all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.